Hi guys, bom dia.
Bom dia.
So good to be here again, sharing a little bit of our lifestyle, jiu-jitsu, foundation training, my travel to Brazil. How are you feeling, Rafael? Good?
Good, man.
Yes.
Good to be here back again.
Very good. Rafael being fully engaged in the gym. We are already reached our 2019 goals, have already passed our final goal we already reached this year, right?
Yeah,
already
man.
building.
Now more.
Yes, we couldn't be happier. And I think all of that coming out of the popularity of Jiu-Jitsu. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu become more and more popular with the UFC. Everybody watched a big fight this weekend, Khabib and Poirier. 100% Jiu-Jitsu there. When I watch a fight like that, it reminds me of UFC 1 when nobody knew Jiu-Jitsu, you know, and that's how good Khabib is on the grappling aspect on the floor, that he make his opponent feels like he knows zero grappling at all, you know, it's such a pressure. I went to Brazil with my family for the first time. I brought my wife and my kids to Brazil after nearly 9 years we live here in the US. I had the chance to finally bring them there, and they are stoked to be there and meet my family and see the culture, the warming heart of Brazilian people. It's always overwhelming, even for me that I'm from there. It's really nice to get there and be so proud of my people, our people, you know, like you get anybody there and make them feel like family straight away. And it was really good. I saw a lot of my jiu-jitsu friends. I saw my friend who actually brought me to jiu-jitsu, Samuel. That's one of the teachers in Abu Dhabi. He teaches jiu-jitsu in Abu Dhabi for 10 years now, 12 years. And it was a great meeting with him, and we talked about jiu-jitsu, we shared techniques, we shared life experiences. And it was a great time. I can't wait to go back there next year again and make this routine.
You said that you didn't train this time there, right?
I didn't have time to train because it was the first time that I brought my family, and they were my main focus to show them around Brazil. Yeah. And 2 weeks goes very fast, and I didn't have the time to go and spend some time in the mats. But I saw my friends there, and it was really good. Did you invite a guest today?
No, this guest is always there.
Oh man, look at this guy, Mr. Kato. Another thing that's really cool that happened unexpected. I've been invited to go to the foundation training workshop in Austin in the On It headquarters gym. And it was overwhelming to see the magnitude of the academy. They have like 2-3 retail places with different modalities: MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, CrossFit.
How big is the mat there? I didn't ask you that.
Oh, the mat is maybe 3,000 square feet mat area inside a 10,000 square feet building with cages and
for people that don't know what foundation training is.
Foundation training is the ability of hinge your hip and move properly when you reach for something. Very efficient for back pain and sciatic relief. I had that situation with me 5 years ago when I had a severe back injury, herniation disc, and really put me miserable for 2 years. And I tried everything possibly I could. All kinds of therapies and everything. We live in Houston. You can find all kinds of solutions here. So I have tried everything until they scheduled me for a back surgery, and I just couldn't take it. When my only option was a back surgery, I said, no, I must have something else. And fortunately, a friend of mine introduced me to foundation training, and believe it or not, 10 days after I started foundation training, I was totally out of pain. Whoa, Mr. Gato is messing up today. Gato. Oh man.
No problem, and this guest is faixa preta, this is black belt.
And so I've been studying foundation training for 5 years now. I'm a certified instructor. And this weekend I went to Austin to help my good friend Jesse Salas. He's a program director for foundation training and one of the master instructors. We spent 2 days in the On It gym in Austin, sharing foundation training with many athletes.
It was a seminar for what, 1 or 2 days?
And the first day was just for interns that works in the gym and close friends of the owners.
Oh, that's interesting. So they invested for
yes, unbelievable. Their mindset is just unbelievable. You know, like they actually reinforce that many times, like how much they're open to new modalities and new ideas, and you know, they're really open to everything. And of course, when they tried foundation training, they really liked it because they felt the results of it and how important it is you have a proper movement that don't cause any body issues, you know, any injuries. And they're like super happy for us to be there. I could feel like how much they appreciate the foundation training study.
One of the things that actually helped me in the foundation training part that complements jiu-jitsu, and you can attest to this, is that jiu-jitsu training unsafely, the three major ones is the three major injuries in jiu-jitsu is the shoulders, the lower back, and the neck.
Yeah,
and because the neck and the lower back is because the folding of jiu-jitsu and the pressure and everything like that. If you saw the fight, you can attest to that, of course. And then the shoulders because of the locks and all that stuff. And then training unsafely and not supplementing something like training with kettlebells or anything fitness-wise in the gym, or not supplementing with foundation training that helps you posture well, help strengthen your lower back and your neck. That's a situation that can help. That foundation training is super key, and that brings to jiu-jitsu, and that's why they weren't on it.
Is super efficient for lower back, sciatic, back, and neck. It's one of the most efficient things that you can find out there that you're gonna learn, and you're gonna really be able to move better, you know, and get out of these wrong patterns of movement that cause a lot of issues on the spine.
Yeah.
And
no, it's great, man. I do it every day. It's helping me
me too, man. Every day.
Yeah,
something that you can apply in your life on everything you do, on
daily.
Very simple things you can do. You're gonna apply foundation training there. You know, as much as jiu-jitsu, that you use the mental part, and you know, in every aspect of your life, the calmness and the friendship, the camaraderie, and everything you learn in the mats, you end up extending it out of the mats too. And foundation training is one of those things too, you know, it's a lifestyle that you're gonna carry to you as long as you go. I was I went to have lunch with one of the students. He invited us for lunch because he want to talk about business and surf and foundation training. It's actually guys from Houston that went to Austin to have this to participate on the workshop there. And then we are having lunch, and I told him like, hey, so how you do foundation training when you're eating? And he looked at me confused, like, how do you do foundation training when you're eating? Say like, yeah, how do you do it? And he like, I don't think it's possible. I said, no, it is. Look at Jesse sitting next to you, and look to Jesse. Jesse's like straightforward, fits in a good posture. Even like we're all tired after a long day. You know, Jesse had that steady posture that he always have.
He always had.
And I say, look, Jesse's doing foundation training right now. He's super steady there, holding his upper body. You know, with everything you learn from foundation training. Oh, okay, and that's possible. I say, and that's what you have to start to apply on your daily routine
everything
to get the best of it. You know, so it was a great experience. Thanks, Jesse and Eric, for the opportunity for me to go there and spend 2 days helping out. I can't wait for the next time to be involved with the foundation crew again. It's always a pleasure because the results is immediately people feel the need of it. And it's just out there, you know, foundation training is just the tip top of the iceberg. You know, it's no doubt it's how much people is in need of it today. And I'm excited to see the future endeavors of foundation training. It's gonna be good, man. I wanna watch it grow. Yeah.
And then I transitioned actually the topic of the whole podcast is sharing a little story of one of the students that signed up pretty recently, like 3 to 4 months, I think maybe.
Yeah, 4 months.
And we want to dedicate this podcast to him. He just passed away like a few weeks ago when we got back from California. And and he had a situation, of course, everything personal, we're not going to say any names. He had a situation personally that happened, and he was dealing with depression and anxiety and all the things that in his mind has a mental illness. Of course, we don't know anything officially. That's why the parents told me and not informed Jackson after that. I don't know the whole details, but we're going to talk about the mental situations, issues that happened to us in our personal life, and in some research that I did, and something that I'm super intrigued and super curious to understand, not only for myself and for my family, but to help people that have that situation, and hopefully I can contribute in that part. Not to tell the story too much or get into many details, but having that situation with him, he combined medicines and everything like that, and he sadly passed away. So in the situations that you feel we didn't have the chance to connect with him a little bit earlier, he just had a few months in jiu-jitsu. He was totally 100% fine. When we saw him smiling all the time, he was, in our eyes, normal behavior. We didn't see anything to worry about. He was a little bit timid, but nothing out of the normal spectrum, right? And then discovering that after we came from California, he came into the first class when we came, the second class after we came, and then that weekend he passed
away.
So I mean, talk about this topic here. If you have anything on that regard, if you feel that you need any help or anything like that, please come to us. If you're near, if you're one of our students or even close friends to us, you can always have a shoulder and ears to listen to and everything. And I read one of the instructors, I think Alex from California, that he was saying like, I prefer hearing your complaints about life and everything instead of nothing at all, like no hitting at all. Yeah. So anything that you have to say, anything that
actually this week is the week of suicide awareness.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. This week is the suicide awareness week of there's many campaigns for people to be more available to help other people with anxiety and depression and suicidal tendencies. And I know that jiu-jitsu would have helped these students.
Well, and it was helping him for one of the parents told us that.
Yeah, even the parents, they come to the gym to talk with us and hear about our experience close to their son.
Yeah.
And they said that they were really excited because finally this kid was leaving the house to go to jiu-jitsu. You know, they're super excited. He finally found something that he could leave the house and go socialize with people. And I never saw that. You know, it was a little shocking for me because I would do anything I could to help this kid, like I do often in the gym with people they need a little bit more than that class. They need a little bit more of that time you spend there in the mats. You know, I'm always try to be as much available as I can to help them. And I know that I would have done that with Vlad, but I could not see it. You know, I didn't feel anything. It was just, I thought he was just a little shy, was behaving normal in the class, and very talented actually, was like following the program pretty consistently. He was often in the class for the 4 months. He was very often, like 2-3 times a week at least in the gym. And then we found out that he was very antisocial. He never leaves the house, was dedicating a lot of hours to social media and all these online portals that we have there. And I feel sad because he could be there if I had the chance. Maybe if just one day I had recognized that he needs a little time, you know, a little bit more hope and motivation for him to carry on jiu-jitsu and give it a try a little more and give a little bit more time, you know, but it was not possible. So what we learned from this, I really appreciate Rafael being already like researching about the topic, and we want to learn more about this and see like which tools can we use to try to recognize these cases a little more, you know.
Yeah.
I personally have cases like this in my family that I've been dealing with for a long time, and you don't see it. You think like when people say like that they have depression and anxiety, it's an invisible enemy. You look to the person, it's just a cool person, but you know, everybody have the demons. We all have things that we're never gonna share with anyone. You know, most of us never gonna be able to share your full feelings, you know, and open your hearts fully because of many reasons, you know, and I'm looking forward to get better on that and be able to recognize more this kind of situation, so I can deliver a little bit more than jiu-jitsu and try to help in a different way. You know, it was shocking for us to lose a student and a friend like this that was already going according to the family, he was already going the right way. You know, like he found jiu-jitsu, he broke in to do his first class, he loved it, he signed up. So the hard part he had already done, but unfortunately it was not enough time for him to carry on his journey, you know. And I have helped people before with anxiety and depression. One of them, I can't even tell his name, is Lyle. When I met Lyle, he was taking like several medications daily, and he could not really function like a normal person anywhere. And slowly through jiu-jitsu, he broke that through. And I remember when he come to me and say like, hey, you know, I don't take any medication anymore, and now I'm able to control my feelings and have control of my thoughts a little better, you
and
know,
to manage them a little bit more.
And I see like one of the things is like the jiu-jitsu closeness, you know, that put in the situation that's you have to come down and wait for the time to escape or attack. And you know, jiu-jitsu I think is a great tool for you to fight this invisible enemy. And I think the more time goes, the more this case is gonna be frequent. You know, like now you see like kids and
now more than ever,
kids and young teenagers also dealing with this kind of disease. You know, it's a thing that affecting everybody.
I was gonna tell you something. There's something that when I was researching, there was a stats that said that the depression experience and anxiety experience there is becoming younger. From the, I believe he said, from the 50s, is becoming younger and younger for people to go and experience this, right? So, for example, since from the 50s to 70s, there's a bunch of 20 to 30 years old that got the experience first, and now the first experience is 13 to 15. So it's becoming younger and younger because it didn't say the reason, but it's just having that study that the first experience of depression and anxiety is becoming that age, and we have to understand how can we help our future kids in that case. And if you don't understand what depression totally means, and we say sometimes that we are depressed, we're not depressed. We're just sad in that moment. We're just feeling something in that moment, but it's not depressed. Depression, what I understood from the research that I got from one psychologist, she was explaining that depression is more like a heavy blanket that just makes you feel that you can't move any part of your body, and makes you sink down so bad that you just can't move anymore. It's like some anesthesia just drop down your body, you can't move at all. And how to get out. And I was explaining to Jackson that I was researching as well in parts of how the mind works for us, right? And it's pretty interesting that for example, comparing that our visitor here, the cat, came in and how his mind works versus ours as a human being. He can get into survival mode in a few seconds and get out of it in a few seconds and forget about it. For example, the cat comes in and you start to playing with the cat and the claws comes out. He's like, oh, let's play a little bit. Like now let's fight, air quote here. So because they think that it's a moment of play, but it's a moment of survival for them as well. And after that, they just calm down in a few seconds and forget about it. For us, we suffer as a trauma in that survival moment. It can be a car like almost changing lanes so close that you get a little bit stressed. Right. And then the thing that the animals don't have is our imagination, our front side of our brain, the prefrontal cortex. is our virtual reality
that
24/7
turns a lizard in a dinosaur.
Yeah, no, turns us into the trauma that the cat had because of me while they were playing. Not the trauma, but just the playful part. And changing their behavior like super quick. They forget about it after. We don't. If we get a trauma or a stress increase for a little bit, we're gonna start thinking, oh, what if that car had hit me? Or what if I would just break down a little bit and then change lanes and be a little bit safer? Or what if, and we start thinking futuristic stuff. And maybe not only for the future, but we can go to the past too. Some things that happened before, traumas that you experience now, because as a reminder, something like that. So we live in that past and future state all the time. And that's what brings anxiety. You can bring anxiety from thinking about projects in the future or work in the future, or things about the future, of course. And traumas in the past, what hurt in the past and what you want to bring back again. So anxiety comes from that, stress comes from that 24/7 virtual reality in our mind that we can't switch quick like normal animals do. They just quick and forget. We don't forget.
Yeah.
We keep reliving it again and again. And that's what we need to try to help each other and help yourself on bringing yourself back to the present and understanding how to interpret some thoughts. And one of the things that was actually hearing this morning, that you want to listen to your thoughts. And if you can imagine, if you're listening right now, if you don't have much things to do in a car, for example, or anything, if you're sitting down or listening to this or watching this, imagine that you have like a little machine of bubbles that is just like the Kicks bubbles that you put for your kids if you have kids, or if you seen it. The machine's just constant bubbles in there, right? And those, every single bubble that you see is a thought, and then you start popping them and start saying a comment. And that comment sometimes is so overwhelming, so repetitive, that you start stressing yourself out. For example, let's go into the car situation again. What happened if I brake a little bit sooner? What happened if that car turned a little bit sooner? What happened if I didn't see that car but I didn't saw the front? And start, like, you just breaking all those scenarios and popping those bubbles and start stretching yourself out about it. Now, the strategy that I was reading, and this is super hard, I'm just simplifying a little bit, but this is really hard to do, is instead of doing that and start getting all stressed, if you feel that way, if you feel that you're popping the bubbles and you're getting a little bit anxious, try to bring yourself physically into your body again. For example, you can do breathing. You can do, maybe you're watching to a far away. Right now I'm watching like a blue bottle. Just saying that already brings me to the present. So use your senses. Jackson and I personally try and do like ice bath every morning. I do it every morning so I can bring myself to the present, don't think too much about anything, so I'm fresh during the whole day.
Reset.
Yeah, just to reset your mind and bring yourself back to, this is called being grounded. Bring yourself grounded again and use your anchor, so that way you feel not stressed out anymore. It's just thoughts that are coming in, so when you feel grounded again, it's not to make it quiet, it's just to bring yourself back again. That is nothing, it's just thoughts that you're making yourself anxious. So it's just you making yourself that way.
That's how powerful the brain is, right? You can imagine that scenario, and if you keep pushing towards that imagination, that's going to end up happening. And
24/7, all the time.
It's very interesting, you know, and sometimes most of us, we know about this and you know how this works, but it's just hard to have control on your brain and on your thoughts.
Really difficult.
And it's happened with everybody. You know, we are very fortunate that we live this lifestyle close to jiu-jitsu, close to a healthy living. You know, we are close to work. We don't have to drive crazy hours to go to work every day, you know, but and I think that's why we have to dedicate our lives to support other people out there that don't have the same easygoing lifestyle that we built, you know. And I really want to give this option to my kids for them to choose, you know, like they can be whatever they want, but they're gonna have jiu-jitsu in case they want to push forward.
Having these tools, jiu-jitsu, foundation training, ice bath, everything.
Exactly, you know, all these tools that's out there You know, you gotta find what's better work for you, but you cannot just don't try it. You know, it's and be available. You know, to help other people. It was really good. It was really nice. I thought a Khabib interview after his fight, he's saying that he wanna help people in Africa, and everything what he wanna do from now on is sharing. You know, is like help other people with everything, and mention like a big organization like the UFC, like why you guys are not helping. You know, why everybody that have a lot of money is not helping other people. What's wrong with that? Why? You know, like very questioning that topic. Why we are so greedy and we are not willing to help other people, you know? Like we live this reality here in the US it's amazing, you know, everybody would like to be here and have these opportunities, and sometimes we forget how much people don't have the basics, you know, like how much people don't have like a glass of water to drink right now, and maybe imagine like everybody have the difference. One guy don't have a glass of water to drink, and he's unhappy with that. And then another guy, he have everything he want, but he's also not happy with that.
Yeah, maybe
you know?
all alone, maybe.
So no that's the power of the brain. You know, doesn't matter how much you have or who you are or how big and strong you are, if you don't have control on your thoughts and on your brain, and you cannot attract good vibes and good energies around you. You know, it's just difficult. Yesterday we went to Barton Springs in Austin, and we bought the ticket in the machine, and I didn't know that you have to pass through another window before you give the ticket to somebody. So we went straight to that guy that was there collecting the tickets, and he was like kind of serious and said like, "Hey, here's the ticket. You guys have to go back to the end of the line. Go back there. Don't you guys see there's a line there?" And I said, "Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't see it." And then my friend that was with me was kind of like, I said like, "Hey, let's just go to the end of the line, man. Come." And he was there trying to clear out that situation, you know, like start to go, hey, come here. Let's go here to the end of the line. The line like took like 2-3 minutes. And then we gone there, and I said to the guy, "Hey, thank you, man, I appreciate." And we just passed by, and then my friend like, "Oh, that guy was
rude or something."
Rude, and I said like, "Oh man, just don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. You know, it's everybody like imagine the guy's also working there the whole day. You know, it's hot.
Sunny his face.
You know, it's sunny. Who knows what's happening with that guy?
Who knows how many people?
You know, like why am I gonna create argument if I'm there to enjoy my time in that place? Why don't I bring something good to that guy? You know, even though that he was not welcome for any good out of me. But like, come on, let's just do it. Just push it.
Or why let that situation break your whole day just because
like
of that part?
Your whole minute. Let's say like your whole minute. That minute you're gonna spend getting in the place. Why you gonna turn that minute in something negative? You know. So. I have one question. If anybody watching this, you know, I'm usually a very positive person, but of course I have my negative moments too that I
like everyone.
Kind of don't believe on things, and you know, sometimes hard to do something. And how much can you be positive? You know, is that bad to be too positive? Is it negative to be too positive?
Yeah, of course.
You know, like we talked about this the other day. I brought that up for you, and I said like, I talked with this friend of mine, and he said like, life is never bad. It's like always, you know, always. Is that good? Yeah, always. And you told me that like, you know, like if everything's good, is amazing, you have no room to grow. You know, you can't grow out of that anymore. So you are like now 30 years old and you reach your capacity of growth and everything is so good. That's, you know, so you have to know how to balance that and how to deliver that to people around you.
It's different.
And how to drive them towards that way too. You know, use what you have. If you have this positive way, to use that more to bring people that direction too. You know?
No, it's difficult. The more I think I comment this to one of the moms in the class, that I was talking about emotional intelligence with her and everything, and I was and right now this is my journey right now I have I have my girlfriend and the academy and everything.
The academy is his second girlfriend, by the way.
And then balancing all those things out, and then I started thinking like with kids now more in the future, and then with grandkids more in the future, and then life as it is difficult to keep it joyful and to keep it balanced but that's the game of it, and that's the beauty of every day. Try to make it as best as you can, because if it would be that simple, everybody will be joyful and happy and everything like that. But that's why life is so interesting, and that's why life is so worth living.
Yeah, I think the good moments just exist because you had a bad one before, and you improve.
That's the only way. That's the only way to experience. You need a bad moment to experience the good, and you need the good to experience the bad. And to finish one of the thoughts on the part of being a little bit more mindful, and people are a little bit scared about what meditation and all that stuff is, and I have a definition for you that make me be a little bit more intrigued about it. Because meditation, you think about Buddha, no hair or anything like that, maybe like a monk or something, or a hippie just meditating like outside or in nature, right? But meditation is more about us right now. You just centering in, sitting right now, for example, and closing your eyes and breathing for a second, and start noticing whatever sense you have in your body, whatever. It can be cold, it can be hot, it can be an ache, it can be maybe one hair of your arm moving, whatever is just in your sense right now, and in seeing your thoughts passing by as well. If you see your thoughts passing by and you get anxious, anchor as well. Anchor again to one of those senses in your body, and then keeps watching the thoughts going by. That's meditation. That's it. Yeah, just for a minute. And the same thing as the ice bath or the cold shower. It just makes you center again, and that makes you reset for the thoughts when they come in. It's just with a fresh mind and a fresh eye and a fresh perspective for you to see it and to not get so anxious. And Jiu-Jitsu does the same. You can't think and do Jiu-Jitsu at the same time. You will get choked. Yeah. Most probably.
Exactly. Freeze, right?
So you need
get
to
out of the loop when you're training.
And that's the thing that helps more, is just bringing yourself back centered and grounded. It's not sitting down for 30 minutes and just be there and quiet your mind. It's not quiet your mind. It's listening to your mind and not getting anxious or stressed and everything. Just watching and seeing what you're thinking right now and what you're feeling. And every day, it is something I'm doing myself. I have a journal and document my daily thoughts, because in a bulk, when you see back in a week, you see the whole thoughts that you had. And I do this already unconsciously, like automatic, without the journal. I've been doing it for a while. If I see a thought that is being in my mind every day, that means is important. That means that is something going on that I'm thinking that every day. Now the thoughts was like one time that day, that was probably that specific day that happened. But if you see a thought going through different days in your week, in your month, in your year, that means that you have to pay attention with it. Yeah. And for example, it can be a situation at home that maybe your kids are not helping too much at home or whatever, and then you're feeling a little bit like that they need to help a little bit more. You're doing too much for them or something. Or maybe in your relationship you're feeling this a little bit toxic, maybe, or in your jiu-jitsu school you're getting hurt every day, and you have a little ache that you have, and you have that thought every day. So you can write it down and see, like, okay, having this every single day in the last week, and the last month and last year, I need to do something about this. So that helps a little bit to
track your
to
thoughts
document
when you have problem with it, right? Yeah. So today we shared a little bit about my travel to Brazil. I talked about the foundation training workshop we did in Austin this weekend at On It Academy headquarters. And we talked about a loss we had in the gym with one of our students. We are dedicating this podcast to him. I hope he's in a peaceful place now. And We talked about anxiety and depression, how much jiu-jitsu can benefit you in that aspect. And we carry on life. I'm excited. Rafael is going to Europe soon. I'm going to spend 2 weeks in Europe, traveling around there and getting some new experiences. Jiu-jitsu, friends.
I'll come back and share with you guys. I'll come back
yes, and it's so good.
And then lastly, to end the whole episode is something that we actually shared with the kids last week, and that I saw a reminder in social media and Instagram from many people. Is like, if you see someone that doesn't have many acquaintances, don't many friends or anything like that, it can be at school if you're still a teenager and still at high school, whatever, or maybe college, or maybe at work. Just talk to that person and make them feel welcome when they come into a new place. It can be in jiu-jitsu school. It can be whatever place that you're already comfortable, you already have couple months, couple years, and that person is new. I did this when I was a kid, not knowing the benefits of it, and Jackson did this naturally in the school, that it got contagious to me, that it high energy to welcome everybody. I was doing this, the closest that I remember is 6th grade, a kid I just got in, and I was friend with him in the first day because I knew how it felt to be new. And that feeling right there, and making a friend the first day, making yourself welcome and being liked is the best feeling in the world. So do the same for them. Because you know how it feels. Yeah. Everybody knows.
Be available, guys. Yeah. Be available, because there is somebody out there that need your shoulder for a couple of minutes.
Just for a couple of minutes.
You know?
Yeah.
Thank
you, guys.
Thank you. I see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.